What's up YouTube, it's TLM Jev. Welcome back to the channel. This is your first time being here, so great to have you. I've got not one, but two shooting guard builds for y'all today. One 6'3", one 6'9". Y'all are really gonna like these builds. These are the best of their kind for the position. I know the builds say PG, don't pay any attention to that. One 6'3", one 6'9". These are designed to play the two in comp, pro-am, rec. They can even run the point on park. I mean, these builds are very, very versatile, especially the 6'9". We know how good 6'9s are. You can use those in any mode, and they'll be great at basically any position on the floor except for center. So these builds, super great. We're going to start by getting into the 6'3 build. I am going to have the little must-have attributes pop up here in a second. Keep in mind that whenever the must-have attributes section pops up on screen, everything you see will be for both builds. So let's say that it says must have 75 pass accuracy. That'll be for the 6'3" and the 6'9". I'm not going to have two separate must have attribute section. We're going to go into detail, but we're going to be precise, we're going to be quick, not waste y'all's time. Let's get straight to the content, man. Alright, so like I said, this is for both builds. This is for the 6'3" and the 6'9". These are the must have attributes. As you can see, we only have a few things on this chart. A lot of this stuff with this build kind of is personal preference. It kind of depends on your play style. But for me to be the best shooting guard possible for your team, I'm talking comp, pro-am, hit the shots you need, get the steals you need, be able to dunk, all that kind of stuff, be able to pass decently. To me, these are the best attributes to go for. As you can see, we got 86 driving dunk that gives us goal limitless takeoffs. That's going to give you your quick drops. You're going to have some contact dunks. I mean, very solid finishing. If you go with that 6'9", you're going to have much better badge tiers. But even if not, if you go with a 6'3", you're still going to have gold limitless takeoff, and you'll either have silver slithery or silver posterizer, depending on which one you core or which one you choose to run. So very good attribute to shoot for there. 92 3 ball, I think, to be honest with you, I don't think that you can justify going any lower as a shooting guard. I think you could argue going for an 89 as a PG, but a 92 on a shooting guard, you need to be able to shoot from deep hash with that gold limitless range. That's what makes it so deadly, so valuable. Being able to shoot from 92 3 ball, honestly, I don't think that there's really any justification for going any lower than a 92. You're going to have gold blinders, you're going to have gold agent 3, you'll have gold catch and shoot, and then you also have gold limitless range. I just think that as a shooting guard, you need to have that gold limitless range. You need to be able to shoot from deep hash for your point guard, whether that's in the pick and roll, the 5L. It just helps so much with the spacing. My personal preference, my personal opinion, do not go anything lower than the 92, and not as a shooting guard. I think it's going to hurt your team. I know some of you might be really good with an 89, a 90, 85. I think silver limitless range is just a lot worse than gold. They're both great badges on either tier, but that gold is a huge jump up for your spot, so make sure you get at least the 92 3 ball for your shooting guard build. 75 pass accuracy, this gives you LeBron's pass style. You could argue you could go a little bit higher on a shooting guard. I don't think it's really necessary. The ball's going to be in the point guard's hands, probably 60% of the time at least. I just think that it makes sense for the shooting guard to have some passing, that they can make the correct reads and dots if they need to, but you're not trying to throw steamers to the corner super often or super deep hash passes or anything, or like chunking it full court. I think 75, getting that LeBron pass style, it'll be fine. You don't need a ton more at the shooting guard spot. You can maybe go an 80 if you want to tweak your build a little bit, but I think 75 is plenty. Alright, as far as the ball handle goes, we have 85 to an 87. I don't think you should go anything lower than an 87, but I put 85 just because that is where you get gold quick first step, so technically that could be a threshold, but I think gold clamp breaker at an 87 is definitely worth it, and even higher than that. I didn't put it on the chart, but I think going for that 89 ball handle for that Hall of Fame quick first step is super valuable. The only reason I didn't put 89 on the chart though is because the 6'9" cannot get 89 ball handle for that Hall of Fame quick first step. So I just kept it with an 87, gives you that gold clamp breaker, gives you gold quick first step, but I would not go any lower than an 85 or an 87. Just being honest with you, do not go any lower than that. And then getting into the defense, you see that it just says 90 steal. This is just for gold interceptor. This build doesn't have anything crazy on defense as far as the 6'3" goes. You'll see though that the 6'9" has a lot better defense, and plus it's just taller, so the defense is just naturally better. But the 6'3", having that 90 steal for gold interceptor and silver glove, pretty valuable, not gonna lie. Our shooting guard earlier in the year ran a 6'3" with a 99 steal. I don't think that's super necessary anymore. Glove is not as good as it used to be. I think that also just on shorter players, you're not going to get as many passing lane steals as a tall player, just because of the size and the reach that you have on a taller player compared to a shorter player. But 90 steal will get you the passing lane steals, get you a few plucks a game on the people that aren't the primary ball handler. I think 90 is a really good spot to shoot for on the shooting guard, because you'll usually be guarding off ball at this spot, so you'll have the opportunity to get some blitz steals, some passing lane steals. So I feel like 90 is a really solid threshold to shoot for. Let's hop into the builds. We're going to start with the 6'3". Alright, so hopping into the build, 6'3", weights 170, wingspan 6'8", body shape is defined. We go with a 6'8" wingspan for that 93 3 ball. I didn't put it in the must-have attributes section because the builds are slightly different, and I do think that the minimum you need is a 92. But on the 6'3", we go for a 93 because that gives you Hall of Fame catch and shoot. Just so valuable for spacing for your guard. I know that with catch and shoot and limitless range, they don't pair, but not every shot you take will be limitless range. So having that Hall of Fame catch and shoot to just knock down every single shot off the catch is just, it's just you gotta love it. Let's get into the build, man. Let's show the attributes and the badges. Alright, so I moved the face cam out of the way. Hopefully that's not blocking anything that y'all need to see. I don't believe that it is. But I'm going to go down the badges. As you see, we have 17 finishing, 27 shooting, 21 playmaking, and 17 defense. As far as the physicals go, we have 80 speed, 90 excel, 75 vertical, 92 stamina. Everything here is really calculated. 80 speed is perfect for off ball. 90 acceleration is very good for getting to the basket, getting your open threes. 75 vertical does give you enough vert for your quick drops, for your contact dunks. You won't have like anything super crazy as far as contact dunks go, but you will have some of the packages with that 75 vert. 92 stamina, you have to remember, again, we're off ball on defense and we're off ball on offense, so you don't need 99 stamina on a build like this, just my personal opinion. Alright, so getting into the attributes, you see we have a 58 close shot, 80 driving layup, 86 driving dunk. I always talk about the badges at the end of the video, what badges you should run on the build. We will have two separate sections, obviously, because we have a 6'3" and a 6'9". But I did want to say real quick, Hall of Fame Giant Slayer on a 6'3" guard, so deadly. Limitless takeoff on at least silver is definitely needed, probably your most important finishing badge on any build by like a really wide margin. And then on the 6'3", this is where the 6'9" has a little bit of an advantage because you can run all three of these badges really easy because of the tier system. But for the 6'3", you're going to have to choose between Posterizer or Slithery. Some of you may also have the double shooting core, so you may not even have a finishing core. So if that's the case, just run Limitless Takeoff and you'll be fine. But these badges are nice. They're good badges. I like both of them. I think they both work really well. But as long as you got Limitless Takeoff, you'll be able to finish at least 60% of the time, and probably more. I'm keeping it on the low end, but Limitless Takeoff is just that good of a badge. Getting into the shooting attributes and the shooting badges, you see with that 83 mid-range, which does give us Hall of Fame Midi Magician. I know not everyone's a big mid-range shooter like me and a couple of my teammates. We love our middies. Especially with that Russell Westbrook move, you can get a mid-range almost at any point in the game. 81 is what gets Hall of Fame. I run it on gold on my 6'1" guard. I think that Midi Magician is a good badge. I don't necessarily think you need it on Hall of Fame, but the more mid-ranges you take, obviously bump it up higher. 93 3 ball, Hall of Fame catch and shoot, super deadly as I mentioned earlier. We've got Gold Agent 3, Gold Blinders, Gold Limitless Range, Gold Deadeye, and we have 27 shooting badges, so we've got options on options, and plenty of badges to run the setup that we want to run. And then we do have a 77 free throw. I've said this in almost every video, but anything above a 65, you're good. Getting into the playmaking, as you see, we have 75 pass accuracy, we've got 90 ball handle, and 76 speed with the ball. Obviously, we're the shooting guard. We're not looking to be the primary ball handler, the primary playmaker, but we do have very respectable attributes as a shooting guard. 75 for the bronze pass style, really nice. 90 ball handle gives us our Hall of Fame quick first step. You're going to have some really good dribble animations at a 90. Obviously, all of the elite dribble moves are tied to a 92, so if you're an absolute dribble head, you might want to tweak this build a little bit. Maybe lower the 3 ball, lower... I don't know, it's tough. It's tough with this build. I think that 90 is just a really good threshold to shoot for. I don't think you really need the elite dribble moves at 92. You can do some really crazy stuff with just a 90. There's plenty of good dribble moves at a 90. 76 speed with ball. Honestly, I probably should have put this in the must-have attributes section, but 75 is where you get MJ's dribble style, which is probably the best dribble style in the whole game, so that's kind of a little bit of an oversight that I didn't put that in there, but I am mentioning it now. Make sure you get that 75 speed with the ball. That dribble style is deadly. I know there's a couple now that have come out that are decent, but MJ's is still pretty much the fastest by a decent margin. So make sure you get that 75 speed with the ball. Everything past that, the stat really just doesn't matter. Promise you that. Acceleration is your most important stat for pick and roll and 5-out by a large margin. All right, then getting into the defensive attributes and badges. Obviously, I usually discuss the badges more in depth at the end of the video, but I'm going to go ahead and give you just a little quick recap and breakdown. I think that you should run Gold Interceptor and Silver Glove. I don't think that it's worth it to run Challenger Clamps on this build. I mean, use that 90 steal, get your team some turnovers, use both of these badges. You're not going to get like anything super crazy at a Bronze Challenger. It's a decent badge, but you're going to get good contest as it is with a 74 perimeter defense with a 6'8" wingspan. And then Bronze Clamps, I mean, you're going to be going against Gold Clamp Breaker most of the time anyways. I don't think Bronze Clamps is going to really stop much. So I would just go Glove and Interceptor and really utilize that 90 steal on the build. Alright, as far as takeovers go, I would run double limitless range, but you can run whatever in the secondary slot. I mean, you can go team takeover boost, you can go shot creator takeover with pull-up precision, but make sure you have limitless range in your primary slot. It just really, it helps your PG out so much, being able to space out the floor and keep your defender right on you. As soon as you pop this takeover, those people cannot blitz the PG anymore. If they do, it is green almost every single time from those hash spots. Limitless range is the best takeover in the game, and it's not close. Don't overthink it. Alright, then as you can see, the build is called a shot creator. The shades are on the screen if you care about that kind of stuff. I don't. I've already said that before, but I did want to show you the build name. We're going to go over the badges at the end of the video. Now we're going to hop into the 6'9" build. So let's get it. Alright, moving on to the second player. As you can see, the height is 6'9", the weight is 185, wingspan is 6'10", and the body shape, go with whatever you like, but I went with compact. Let's move into the attributes. Moving into the attributes and the badges for the 6'9" player. As you can see, we have 17 finishing, 25 shooting, 21 playmaking, 17 defense. The physicals are basically the same. We have 81 acceleration as opposed to 90. Everything else, though, is basically the same. The acceleration won't be a super noticeable difference because whenever you're a taller guard, you just take less steps to get places, so the acceleration is not going to be a huge difference. I think the small guards do just have more burst to them as far as the dribble animations go. A lot of that, though, is more so with that Hall of Fame quick first step. The 6'9" only has gold, so just keep that in mind. The playmaking is basically the same, 78 pass accuracy, 76 speed with the ball. Nothing super different there. The biggest difference on finishing is, of course, the badges are in better tiers now because we're 6'9". Slithery, Limitless, and Posterizer are all really easy to get. And we also do have 70 standing dunk on this build, which gives us bronze rise up. Standing dunk on a 6'9" player, super valuable. Make sure you have it on your build. I'm trying to look for other differences. The defense obviously is wildly different on this build. The 6'3" has 74 perimeter and 90 steal. This build has 86 perimeter and 78 steal. So we kind of just flip the two attributes basically. But the biggest thing is, man, these 6'9s, you're still going to have Silver Interceptor, but then you also now have Challenger, you have Clamps, you have Chase Down Artists, Glove is in your tier 1, and all your tier 3s are just not super important for this build, honestly, so it really works out very well for the defense for the 6'9". I'm going to leave it on screen for just a second. Not much else to talk about, but I mean, make your tweaks, man. Make this build your own. It's a 6'9", so it's very versatile. You can change it in a lot of ways to get things that you want. You can have better finishing, better shooting, better playmaking. You can even have more defense on this build. So all around, either one of these builds, whether you go with the 6'3" or the 6'9", you're gonna have a very killer build. All right, so we are a 2 guard. We're 6'9", so obviously fading is gonna be a little bit different than a 6'3". I still think you can hit fades very consistently on a 6'9", but if it's me, I'm the 2 guard on my team, I'm probably running limitless range and perimeter batch drop. I'm taking pressure off of the point guard with my shooting, and then I want to take some pressure off the lock with my defense. So I think these are 2 really nice takeovers to have. But I mean, you can run whatever you want. This is your personal preference, depends on your play style. But for me, comp pro am setting, this is what I would want out of my 2 guard personally. I don't think it hurts to have double lock or to have double sharp or even have straight up slashing. It's whatever your play style is, whatever helps your team win the game. choose that, but to me, these are the two best takeovers for the shooting guard spot. Alright, so hopping into the build name and the shades, as you can see, we have Lonzo Ball, Penny Hardaway, LaMelo Ball. I know I don't care about the build names. I know I'm in the minority on that, but this build name is pretty cool, to be fair. It's a 3-level scorer. Also, apparently, as you can see on the screen, apparently I've made the 4th ball brother, because those are 2 of my shades on the screen, so it is what it is. But anyways, hope y'all enjoyed the build. Now we're going to hop into the badges for both builds, and I'll have timestamps showing you which build we're talking about as we go through it. Alright, so getting into the badges, we're going to discuss the 6'9" players badges first, and then we'll move on to the 6'3". I am going to have timestamps down below so you know which build I'm talking about, but just keep that in mind. We're talking about the 6'9" build first, so we're going in reverse order from earlier. So we've got Bronze Giant Slayer, Silver Slithery, Gold Limitless Takeoff, Silver Fearless, Silver Posterizer, and Bronze Rise Up. Limitless Takeoff, Posterizer, Slithery. Run these 3 badges and you'll be a amazing finisher. Promise you that. Bronze Rise Up, Fearless, and Giant Slayer are kind of just accessory badges. They help the build out. Fearless is a good badge. Rise Up is a good badge. Giant Slayer on the 6'9" doesn't really do much. You could put this anywhere else in the tier 1. But this is the finishing setup I would run, and run Posterizer, Limitless, and Slithery, and I promise you'll see the value of being 6'9". These 3 badges are incredible, especially that Gold Limitless Takeoff. Alright, so as far as the shooting goes, I'm going to start by saying you don't need Agent 3 if you're not taking many pull-ups, fades, not many off-dribble shots. If you're mostly just a catch and shooter with this build, I would put this probably into Green Machine instead, because as you see, we don't have any Green Machine on this build. And I do think Green Machine is a good badge, but for a spot up, sometimes you're going to be taking 5% shots, 18% shots. People are going to contest you. It's just the nature of the 5v5 setting. They're going to get kind of ghost contests on you. So to be able to keep your Green Machine going, it's just hard. At any spot, honestly, any position on the floor, keeping your Green Machine going throughout the game is just not easy against the best of the best. So that's why I don't run it. On my PG build, I still run Green Machine. I still think it's a good badge. Don't get it twisted now. It's a good badge. But against the best of the best teams, it is very hard to hit 2 or 3 greens in a row against a very good defense. So, Hall of Fame Claymore, Bronze Midi, Bronze Volume, Gold Agent 3, Gold Blinders, Gold Catch and Shoot, and Gold Limitless Range. Again, if you're not shooting many fades, you probably don't need Blinders, you probably don't need Agent 3. You could probably pop on Deadeye instead and then run Green Machine instead. To me though, this is the best shooting setup for you 2 guards. I think that this badge setup just works really well. You've got your catch and shoot, you've got your fades, you got your blinders, you got your claymore. As I mentioned earlier in the video, catch and shoot does not pair with limitless range. Limitless range and claymore do pair though, so claymore is very valuable for shooting those deep limitless range shots. But yeah, this is the best setup to me. Again, if you don't like taking many fades, then I'd probably core out Deadeye instead of blinders, and then take off Agent 3 and put on Green Machine instead. But again, 2 different playstyles, 2 different setups, so run the badges that work well for you and what you want to use this build for as the 2 guard. Alright, getting into the playmaking badges, as you can see, we have Clampbreaker Cordell on gold, we have Bronze Handles for Days, and Silver Unpluckable. Here's the thing, everyone gets +4 badges to their build very early into my career. Put 2 of those badges into playmaking so you can then run Silver Handles for Days and Gold Unpluckable. I know you're the 2 guard, you may not be dribbling as much as the PG, but you should not be getting ripped every time you put the basketball on the floor. And you probably will if you have Bronze Unpluckable or Silver Unpluckable. A lot of people know that the 2 guard doesn't have as good of offense as the PG, so they may have someone with 95 steal, 90 steal over there. They're going to reach on you, and they're probably going to get it a handful of times if you don't put this to Gold Unpluckable. So just keep that in mind. Gold Quick First Step, very, very good badge. Bronze Bailout, kind of just a necessity. It sucks it's in tier 2, because I don't think that what it does is worth 3 badges, but you got to have it on also, so maybe it is. Basically, without Bronze Bailout, your passes are going to go out of bounds every time you try to bail out of a shot or something stupid. So it's a must-have badge, very, very important. Probably the best bronze badge in the whole game. Bronze Hyperdrive, Bronze Dimer. You can put more of your playmaking badges into these categories, get higher Dimer, get higher Hyperdrive. If you want, you can run some Floor General for your team, your PG. I usually think that Floor General is best run on like a power forward or a center though. The ones that are taking the least amount of shots, probably the most important to have Floor General on. Alright, getting into the defensive badges. There's going to be two options here. As you see, we have a lot of bronze badges. We have some silvers and golds. All of your important badges for the 6'9" player are all in the tier 2. Clamps, interceptor, chase down, and challenger. As you can see, I have challenger cord, but what you can do instead is, you can take these off, bump this down to bronze, and then you could core out anchor, core out rebound chaser. I don't think these are super valuable on a 2-guard build. So that's why you see me core out challenger and then run something like this. I feel like you get more value, you shore up more weaknesses with this amount of bronze badges, and then you still have gold chase down. As the 2-guard, you'll probably be the one on the fast break very, very often. So being able to get the occasional chase down block, having that interceptor to get those passing lane steals. We got silver clamps, gold challenger. This build on defense is very, very strong. We got some very good badges, and especially on the 6'3", clamps, interceptor, and challenger are all tier 3 badges. So it's just, you see the difference between the two builds on defense. The defense is what makes the 6'9" so valuable, so good. These are the badges I would run. But again, like always, if you have a badge that you love that you don't see on right now, put it on. It's your build, make it your own. To me, I'm just always going to cover things in a way of comp pro-am settings. To me, this is the best badge setup to run by far. Alright, moving on to the 6'3" and its badges. We're not going to discuss every single badge. We're going to fly through this really quickly. I will give you my recommendation of where I'd put your extra 4 badges. But for finishing, we have silver aerial wizard, Hall of Fame giant slayer, bronze masher, silver fearless, silver posterizer, and gold limitless takeoff. Giant slayer on a 6'3", way better than a 6'9". Giant slayer will bail you out and get you a lot of buckets. Very good badge. Limitless takeoff, again, super important. Your most important finishing badge right there. Gold limitless. Gold limitless. Use it, please. Moving on to the shooting, we've got Hall of Fame Claymore, Hall of Fame Catch and Shoot, Bronze Green Machine, Gold Limitless, Gold Blinders, and Gold Agent 3. Again, Green Machine is on now. If you choose to run that somewhere else, you can. Midi Magician on a 6'3" guard, very, very, very good. If you want to not shoot faders, again, take off Agent 3, take off Blinders, put on Deadeye, put these badges somewhere else. To me, though, this is the best setup for the 2-guard spot at 6'3". Moving on to the playmaking badges for the 6'3", Hall of Fame Quick First Step, Gold Unpluckable, Bronze Dimer, Bronze Bailout, Gold Clamp Breaker, and Silver Handles for Days. To me, there's not much debate here. This is probably the best setup by a pretty good margin. I love this setup. I've been using it basically all year on my PGs, 2-guards. Killer Combos is also a good badge, so you could argue that over Clamp Breaker, but to me, I like Clamp Breaker, and I'm going to stick with Clamp Breaker moving forward. Getting into defensive badges, to me, this is probably the best setup for the 6'3". Bronze Box Out Piece, Bronze Rebound, Bronze Off-Ball Pass, Bronze Pogo, Bronze Pick Dodger, Silver Workhorse, Silver Glove, and Core Out Gold Interceptor. This setup, as far as defensive badges goes, you see a lot of bronze badges, a lot of silvers. The 6'3" does not have super amazing defense compared to the 6'9". We do have Challenger and Clamps down here, and we have 11 badges between our Tier 1 and Tier 2. So we could technically add our +4 badges to defense, take one of these badges off, and then we'd have 5, and we could run Bronze Clamps, Bronze Challenger. So that's up to you. If you want better defense, that's probably what you should do with your +4 badges. But then we could also put those extra 4 into either shooting or playmaking, which I do think is better well spent. Honestly, if it was my recommendation, I'd put those +4 badges into playmaking or shooting. Shore up some weaknesses. You could run volume shooter. You could take something down and run green machine. Put it into playmaking. You could have extra dimer. You could have needle threader, vice grips, floor general, special delivery. You can run silver hyperdrive if you put +4 into playmaking. So to me, I would put those extra badges into playmaking or shooting. But if you do want to be stronger on defense, then again, you're going to have the option to run Bronze Clamps or Bronze Challenger. And some of you may also have more than +4 badges, so throw those where you want. But those are kind of just some options and things to think about. You could have an extra Tier 3 badge for defense. You could have some extra Tier 1s and 2s for playmaking, or some extra Tier 1s and 2s for shooting, or even some Tier 3s on either one of those categories. So that's my recommendation. That's the badge setup. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All this stuff helps out the channel, helps out the algorithm. Thank y'all so much for your continued support on the channel. Hope y'all liked the quicker style of this video, shorter intro, all that kind of stuff. I feel like there was a lot less fluff time. We're flying through it, getting stuff done. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. TL, I'm Jev, and I am out.